What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my ranking for all 11 MCU Phase 3 movies. So I've recently gone over all of the MCU movies in Phase 3 over the last few weeks for my Marvel Mondays, so I thought this week I'd just do my ranking, and starting next week I'll start re-reviewing the Phase 4 movies. So I'm going to go ahead and get going. Coming in at number 11 is Captain Marvel. I don't really hate this movie, really, but I don't really love it either. I just kind of find it to be kind of mediocre and slightly boring. It's not very memorable. I did like some things in it. I think Brie Larson and Samuel Jackson worked really good together, and they had great chemistry together, and I thought Samuel Jackson was great in here. Brie Larson I thought was alright. I've seen her give way better performances in better movies. I think she's more suited for indie movies. There's nothing really anything against her. I think she's a good actress. Just I don't know that she really fit Captain Marvel. We'll see how she does in future stuff and everything, and see if she's better in that stuff. But this movie is alright and everything. It's not terrible. I kind of like this stuff with the scrolls, the big twist of them actually being good guys and stuff. And she was fighting on the wrong side the whole time. I thought that was kind of a cool twist, and there are some fun moments in here, and it had great makeup effects on the scrolls and stuff. So Captain Marvel, it's kind of got it's good and bad, but it's not a super great movie, and it's easily my least favorite out of the Phase 3 movies. So it's number 11, and number 10 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is another one that I think is pretty fun. I always enjoy it when I watch it. It's a good time and everything. It just isn't one of my favorite movies that came out during this phase and everything. I think a lot of the movies in here are better than this one, but it is still a good time and everything. And it's quite a few steps up above Captain Marvel as well too. And everything. There's a pretty big gap between those two movies, but I enjoy Ant-Man and the Wasp. I've always liked it and thought it was a fun movie. It's a smaller scale story, no pun intended, and it's got a lot of fun moments and everything. And Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne's chemistry is really good. They've worked the Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly work really good together and do a really good job playing them, and I think the villain Ghost is a pretty decent villain, kind of one of the more underrated villains. I can't wait to see what they do with her in the Thunderbolts, and I just enjoy this movie for what it is. It's a good enough time. So Ant-Man and the Wasp is number 10, and number 9 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I really like this movie quite a bit, and pretty much from this one up are all ones that I think are really good and entertaining movies. There were some things in here that I didn't like some of the tonal issues, but aside from that, it's a really entertaining movie. I love the Ego. I think he's actually a really good villain in the MCU, one of the more underrated villains and everything. He is easily defeated and stuff, but he's still a pretty good character, and I love Yondu's sacrifice at the end. It just adds a lot of heart and emotion to the story and everything, and James Gunn is really good at that, bringing us really funny movies with a lot of heart and not afraid to be emotional too, and he brings that to this movie too and everything. I think the humor and stuff was just a little bit better in the first one and everything, but this one is a really good movie, and it is still a lot of fun. It just isn't one of my most favorite out of Phase 3 and everything. So it's number 9, and number 8 is Doctor Strange. This used to be one of my least favorite MCU movies. In fact, I even had it at the very bottom, like right next to the Incredible Hulk for the longest time when this movie first came out and everything. But upon this last rewatch and everything, and after seeing No Way Home, Multiverse Madness, and the two Avengers movies and stuff, seeing Doctor Strange and other stuff, I kind of got more interested in the character, and going back and rewatching his origin story, I had a lot more fun with it this time, and everything. There was a lot of things about it that I had forgot that I liked about it, and it has some really fun moments. It was a good introduction to Doctor Strange and the characters that are part of the universe, like Wong and stuff. He's one of my favorite characters, and it's kind of became the face to Phase 4 and everything. But Wong is great in here. I love when they were talking about Beyonce and stuff, and later he's listening to it and stuff. Yeah, just little moments like that were fun and everything. I do think the villain was kind of one note and everything. I don't really remember him very well. And Dormammu was pretty cool. I hope they do something with him in the future, because it kind of hinted that they might, so hopefully they will. But all in all, I think Doctor Strange is a pretty decent movie. It's not one of my most favorite MCU movies, and it's still not one of my most favorites of the Phase 3, but it's still a really good movie, and I like it a lot more now than I used to. And maybe it's also because this isn't one of the ones I've rewatched a lot either, because out of Phase 3 I've rewatched most of these movies quite a bit. Doctor Strange is one of the ones I haven't. Maybe that's one of the reasons I'm enjoying it quite a bit this time around and stuff too. But yeah, so it's number 8, and number 7 is Thor Ragnarok. I absolutely love this movie. I think it is a blast from start to finish, and I love the blend of the humor and the heart and the more serious tone and the action, and everything that they did in this movie was handled perfectly. They didn't go overboard with the comedy or the anything, although there are times where it does still undercut some of the more serious moments, which does kind of suck and everything, but it's not done on the same level as it was in Thor Love and Thunder, which I think I do like how they handled this one a little bit more. I'm gonna have to rewatch that one, and that's one of the MCUs from Phase 4 that I haven't revisited since theaters, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about Thor Love and Thunder on rewatch, but I've watched this one twice since I saw Thor Love and Thunder in the theater, and I forget how much I love this movie. Hela is such a really great villain. Loki and Thor's relationship in this movie is really well done and everything. I loved how it was done, and how his friendship with Bruce Banner and stuff kind of grows in this movie. They kind of become friends. They were colleagues before, now they kind of become friends by the end of this movie, and it sets up Infinity War really well, and it's a really good movie. I absolutely love Thor Ragnarok. I think it was a really good one and everything, and I loved what Taika Waititi did with this movie and everything. I personally like Taika Waititi's stuff quite a bit, and I thought he was a good pick for this particular Thor movie and everything. I don't know how much I'll still like Love and Thunder after I rewatch it or not, but this one I really enjoyed quite a bit. I haven't had the desire to go back and revisit Love and Thunder like I have with this one for some reason either as well. I think this is probably my favorite Thor movie. So Thor Ragnarok is number 7, and number 6 is Spider-Man Far From Home. This is another one that I really love. I could have put Thor Ragnarok over it, though. Those two kind of flip and flop on this list, because I think I like them almost about the same. But I think Spider-Man Far From Home is a lot of fun. It's got a lot of good humor. I love the jokes in this movie. A lot of them just really landed for me. And I love like the stuff with Liz and Ned being a couple and stuff. They were just a really funny and cute couple to watch together, and I really love how they brought the romance between MJ and Peter into this movie, and how well it was written and everything. I think that Mysterio is a really good villain. In fact, he's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, not just because Jake Gyllenhaal is such a good actor and does such a great job playing him, but because he actually really messed up Peter Parker's life. Like, everything going forward in the MCU with Spider-Man started because of what he does at the end of this movie, and it's really freaking crazy. It set up No Way Home in a really perfect way. I never expected to love No Way Home as much as I did, though, and everything, but this one got me really hyped for that threequel, and it's one of my favorite MCU movies and everything. This one isn't one of my most favorite MCU movies, but I have a lot of love for it for what it set up, and because I do find it to be a fun time. It's kind of a more smaller scale story on the level of Ant-Man and the Wasp for me, but I think this one's just more entertaining and more rewatchable than Ant-Man and the Wasp. So that's why it's this much higher and stuff, because I find it to be one of the more rewatchable MCU movies. So Spider-Man Far From Home is number 6, and number 5 is Spider-Man Homecoming. I really enjoyed this one quite a bit too. I've watched this one quite a bit since it first came out. It's probably one of the Spider-Mans I've seen the most outside of the Raimi trilogy over and over again. This one and No Way Home, which I think I've seen No Way Home actually more than I have this one as well too. But I absolutely love Spider-Man Homecoming. It's a lot of fun and everything. Tom Holland is just really perfect as Spider-Man, and I thought he was great in this movie. I love the relationship between him and Tony Stark and how it was written and everything, and I think Vulture was a pretty good villain and everything, one of the better Spider-Man villains in a long time at the time that this one came out. I'd even say he was probably the best one since Doc Ock and everything, and we've had great villains ever since then, including bringing back some of the great ones, but I kind of wish he would have been in No Way Home instead of being wasted in Morbius. But I love Michael Keaton as the Vulture, though. He did such a great job, and the story is really well done. It feels like a John Hughes superhero movie, and it's a lot of fun. So Spider-Man Homecoming is number 5, and number 4 is Black Panther. I really love this movie. I think it was a really great story. I love the cinematography in here, the action, the acting. Chadwick Boseman is just absolutely great as Black Panther, and Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger was perfect casting, great villain, one of the best villains of the MCU, and I just absolutely love Black Panther. So it's a really, really great movie. So Black Panther is number 4, and number 3 is Captain America Civil War. I really love this movie quite a bit. It is such a great movie. It has so many things going on in it, and they were able to make it work where it is still entertaining and never slow and boring. It's like 2.5 hours and has so much action and fun moments and everything. The airport scene especially is just one of the best MCU scenes and everything. A scene that I didn't think was going to be topped, and then Endgame happened, and everything, and No Way Home happened. So I can't say that the big final battle in this one is or that big airport battle, or the big final battle with Iron Man and Captain America and Winter Soldier and stuff. I can't say those are my favorite big fight scenes in the MCU anymore, because we've gotten some really great ones since then, but this is a really fun movie, and it was a great introduction to Black Panther and Spider-Man, and it's really, really entertaining movie. So Captain America Civil War is number 3, and number 2 is Avengers Infinity War. This is one of the most fun and entertaining movies in the MCU. There's not a dull moment in here. That goes by really, really fast. It doesn't feel like 2.5 hours at all. And there's never a dull moment. Like, I don't think there's any parts of this movie that I dislike. I liked everything about it. Getting to see Iron Man and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy was a lot of fun, and Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Captain America and Black Panther teaming up and with the Wakandans and the other Avengers and stuff. It just, getting to see everybody in a movie together was a lot of fun, and this was a really great time. I really loved Infinity War and everything, but there is one that I think is a little bit better than it and everything. So coming in at number 1 is Avengers Endgame. I absolutely love Endgame. It's just a really, really fun movie. From start to finish, there's never a dull moment. It doesn't feel like it's 3 hours long. In fact, every time I watch it, I'm like, man, this is like the fastest 3 hours ever. Just want to waste time and everything, watching Avengers Endgame is a good way to do it, because I've always engaged into the story, and I just absolutely love this movie. Part of it is maybe it came out at a time in my life when I really needed a movie like this and everything, but it really is entertaining too, though. I've always found it to be a legit great movie and everything too, with great characters and a lot of fun emotional moments and everything. And the theatrical experience was one of the best experiences I ever had in a movie theater. I just absolutely had a blast with this one, and I have so many fond memories of that and everything. I went to see it 2 or 3 other times during its first couple of weeks just because I was so in love with this movie, and it's a perfect superhero movie. It's one of the best MCU movies. Like I said, I can't say it's my favorite MCU movie anymore, everything, because there is one that I like a little bit more, but I do still love Endgame, and I think it's still a really great movie. So it's easily my #1 favorite movie of Phase 3 of the MCU. So anyway, let me know in the comments how you would rank the MCU Phase 3 movies. If you don't want to do a full ranking, just tell me your favorite and least favorite. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.